All right, the first unit we're looking at today is TeQ DBS Gogeta. Now, it seems like I wouldn't say a weird unit, but it's not the first unit that probably comes to your mind when we're talking about the best slot 1 units in the game. Now, I really like this Gogeta. I think he's incredibly underrated. I don't think people like hate on this unit too much. I just think they don't give the unit enough credit, though. I think the things that they do with the turn 1 and turn 3, all that stuff, how quickly this unit stays dominant, and just overall the whole kit of this unit is just very impressive. But what makes him a great slot 1 is just, well, one, you can always have 100% dodge. Granted, the conditions to consistently have 100% dodge are not always easy to get, but I would say that he's definitely, one of the stronger units to be in slot 1 as a dodge unit, especially when you can tank attacks and even have some defensive ability to probably take some low-end supers. And then, of course, on top of that as well, he's giving defensive support to all to all of your allies in that rotation once he supers, on top of the bonus 50%. Oh man, it is so crazy. But yeah, it is a very good unit. His active turn is very incredible. He's unkillable on that turn, even if there is a dodge canceling boss. But he has some high damage, the ability to dodge, and his supporting defensively for the rotation just allows him to be a very valuable slot 1 unit, I think, in my opinion. I can understand why people might not like this unit. I just think this unit's way better than people have given him credit for. But yeah, overall, I really love this unit, and I really like what DBS Gogeta can do in slot 1. All right, the next unit we're looking at is LR AGL Gomah. The greatest thing about this unit is his high levels of damage reduction turn 1 and 3, if you can keep that going. And then, of course, on top of that, having his 73% dodge in the first 4 turns. Then on turn 5, you can use his giant form really to extend the longevity of his early effect. But also remember, each turn and each time you're constantly getting 150% stats for every turn that passes. So of course, by turn 7, he might not even be an issue to even have floating around anymore, because you've already used all of your resources to stay around that long, and then you come out and just absolutely slaughter people. He has ridiculous levels of attack. He has ridiculous levels of defense. this guy is, quite frankly, an amazing slot 1 unit. Probably the best in the game. Do I dare say the best slot 1 unit? He's definitely the best unit in the game, but do I dare say best slot 1 unit in the game? I would have to say so, right? He's very tanky. Yes, there are issues on his tanking ability. If you get in this weird window between turns 1 and 5, you get in a turn 3 window, or maybe you don't have the damage reduction you're looking for there, and you don't really want to use your giant form yet, so you're just hoping to get those dodges to keep you going. But even if he doesn't dodge, he still has a decent amount of defense to pair with his 73% dodge. He'll be able to take some normals there for sure. He's not invincible. He 100% has areas in his kit, especially not at 100%, where he can look not unimpressive, but definitely look human, right? But I just think that overall, how he works, how this unit goes, how this unit just functions, just allows him to be an incredible unit in the meta, where the boss is also getting stronger every turn. So he's kind of matching that energy bar for bar when he's also getting stronger every turn. And by the way, just completely destroys festival battles. Not a single person has anything on Gomah in festival battles. All right, next we have the LR STR Super Saiyan Blue Goku. The greatest thing about him is the fact that he has dodge, and very similar to what you see with the what you saw with Gomah, right? That dodge, the defensive abilities, right? You have both of those things that allow Gomah to be very, very good, and so is the Blues. Now, my only concern is the Blues don't have the building, defense, so you can get hit by a pretty fairly strong super, and you're in a world where you're just and I wish you could have tanked that better, or he got you killed, right? The Blues are not invincible at all until they get that guard for 4 turns. Then you're like, okay, yeah, they look pretty invincible in that turn. But yeah, I just don't love the fact that they can die in those scenarios, but the dodge they have, the damage reduction levels they have, just allow them to be a very good unit overall. And while you have to include them as one of the best slot 1 units in this game, you just don't have many units doing 70% damage reduction and 80% dodge. This guy is quite the unit, you could say. But overall, I do think that Gomah's better, but I do like what the Blues can do in slot 1. All right, let's talk about G4. Yeah, this is a unit that, you know, many people would say they're not as fond of as in slot 1 nowadays, because he can definitely struggle against normal damage in the higher end bosses, specifically the ones inside the blue zone. But, you know, I have seen him taking damage outside of there as well. But to me, at the end of the day, I'm always just gonna say this man is one of the most elite units in the game. Turn 3 access to probably the best active skill, not in the game, but I guess in like an all types content active skill, it is probably the best in the game. With the high levels of attack, the high levels of defense. Well, not the best in the game, because the best in the game would probably be Boo or the androids of that Usher ability, which is just stupid broken. But yeah, I mean, I do really do enjoy what Gogeta has access to right away. His extreme levels of damage and just the ability to tank a majority of hits in slot 1, even before Super Ink or after, because it's the same level of defense, because he does not get any defense on Super. So really, it does not matter where you put him. I mean, just like, put him in slot 1. It's gonna be the same thing. I put him in slot 2 or 3. But yeah, I mean, this unit is very, very dominant, and he's going to be dominant the rest of this year until, you know, maybe there's another boss that is just absolutely ridiculous. But I don't think so. I don't think we're going to get that this year, unless like Tamagami 1 is just like the craziest boss we've ever seen. But, you know, I really do I am glad that the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta ended up getting the justice that he 100% deserved. And I know it's like, well, Gogeta had a ton of cards this year, 100%. No one's gonna disagree with you there. yeah. This is the year of the Gogetas. No one's gonna disagree there, but it's definitely a thing about that Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta has not had a card since 2022. That, you know, he definitely deserved this. Next, we have the Year 7 fusions. Let me tell you, man, these guys are absolutely incredible slot 1 units. The access to the early damage reduction, the 77% damage reduction turn 1, just allows them to be an incredible unit in terms of just turn 1 stats. Now, of course, afterwards, you can have some issues on turn 3 when you're like, you know, there could be more here. There could be more there. I get that. But I do think that their stacking allows them to be impactful right away, all the time, most of the time, whatever. Like, yeah, you definitely have those. And then you also have, you know, their fusion / their transformations that also allow them to be very, very good, because you have access to, you know, the dodge, or the basically 100% damage reduction on turn 1 with the G4, which allows them to be even more broken in short content, because you can just fuse and then you're invincible for 1 turn, which is ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, they really made sure that Super Saiyan 4s were some of the crazier things you have ever seen in this game. But I mean, the tech gods are also in the conversation due to their dodge. But I mean, if you're talking to me, who's a better slot 1 unit right now? It is definitely the Fizz G4. I mean, there's even times you're going to run Fizz G4 over AGL G4 in slot 1, just due to either late game ability. They both have counters, but Fizz G4 has a universal counter, which allows him to also be really good, because he has a guaranteed counter at 1.2, but he has the counters that allow him to just be very, 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 very good. So yeah, I mean, basically he has dodge against super attacks. He doesn't have dodge against normals, but he has a dodge against super attacks, which is, yeah, I mean, this unit's crazy. This G4 is quite the unit, but that's all I will say. Next, we have the INT LR hybrids. Now, I really like these units if you could run them on their ideal team. Clearly, they're not as good when you're talking about them outside of that team, especially because, you know, Gohan's great turn 1, but then he loses that extra damage reduction he gets turn 1, which then starts to hurt him a lot. And then you're like, okay, well, I want to go into Goten and Trunks, but I can't because of this. Like, that card itself, like, if you run a full youth team, you give them their ideal scenario, their rainbow, they're probably like right behind Gomah for how dominant the unit can be, with the dodging, with how much attack they're doing, right? But it's just, I just don't love the restriction. I get Youth is not in a bad position right now. I get Youth is a way better team than it was, per se, 6 months ago. But I still think I want to see more on the Youth side of this team before I'm like, oh yeah, this is the team I want to run, right? I mean, you did get buffs with the new manga Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. You did get buffs with the who's his face? The demonic power Gohan. That was every Gohan. I meant the Garlic Junior Gohan upgrade, right? Like, you got your buffs, you got your improves, you got what you needed there. I still think you're missing 1 or 2 more before you can comfortably be good with the youth team that can dominate all kinds of meta. I think it's in a decent position. I just would want to see a little bit more, because I don't love Super Easy Goten and Trunks. I don't think they're bad. I just don't love them. And then of course you have access to the Kid Gokus, who are pretty decent. So, you know, pick your poison there, of course, especially if you want to run that unit. But I mean, if you get the damage reduction with the Gohan turn 1, he does not die. Then you go into Goten and Trunks, and they also cannot die with 100% dodge basically every single time you're around them. It is really impressive to see what they can do on a full youth team, that ideal scenario. But yeah, anyways, let's move on to the next one. Let's talk about STR Ros. Now, I think in terms of this list, they're probably the weakest slot 1 here. Nah, that's not true. There's one person I put under them on this list. Does not mean they're bad. I just think that, especially because if you're not on Fizz Omega's team, he's not super impressive. He's good, not super impressive. And then you have, the thing of you don't build your defense, so it's all stagnant. Yeah, I mean, Rose has good turns and he can tank decently well, but I mean, he's definitely, if you have the ideal Gohan team for the LR Hybrids trio, Rose is the worst the Global Dokkan campaign unit that's come out this year. And it's not like it's not a bad thing to say, it's just, again, that batch was loaded, but it's, he doesn't have anything that's gonna make him age well, like, at all. Like, the moment there's a boss with like 13 mil or 14 mil attacks, he just dies. Like, there's nothing else to it. That's it. That's all that happens. You can't change that narrative for him. But he's still a good unit. I mean, he still tanks extremely well in slot 1, just versus all the normal supers that are not like ludicrously high. But again, like I said, he's just not gonna age well. He's still one of the strongest slot 1 units we have in this game. He's just a pure tank in terms of that department, as in he doesn't have dodge, he doesn't have like conditional damage reductions or anything. It's just this, that's it, right? So, and Rose hits pretty hard, but there's not much else that Rose can provide for you outside of that. Like, yeah, the damage reduction is great, yeah, the guard is great, but it's only gonna take you so far before that's the scenario. So next we have Physical Omega Shenron, which you literally cannot use outside of his own team, but that's not the guy I have under Rose. I think Physical Omega is a better slot 1 tank, especially when you have the full team. He has 70% damage reduction rockin', of course, his domain, the extra 140%, the extra 70% from the other Omega, defensively wise. Like, I mean, he has a lot of things in his kit that make him very tanky. Tons of support on that team. I mean, just littered in support from that team. But outside of that scenario, he's just not good, man. He just struggles hard. And I get it. They made him with that intent of mind. Like, yeah, we're gonna make him broken, but only on his team. And that's fine. That's not the worst thing in the world. It just means that if there's a scenario where you can't run 2 Omegas anymore, or like your base of the team just sucks and you don't really want to run Omega anymore because there's better teams to run, that's gonna hurt this unit a ton. Because if you can no longer run his team, he goes with the team, right? Like, you can't run him anywhere else. You could try on Baby's team, but I don't think there's enough defensive support to match what you are getting on the Shadow Dragons team. And and if you're looking for a discount, that's fine too. But it's just like, even if you're looking for a discount, or not discount, if you're looking like, okay, I know he's gonna look worse than he's looked before, but I'm gonna go ahead and scale down the I'm gonna get him on a better team on Baby, which means I'm gonna do that, whatever you want to do with it. But more so, it is just a little crazy that it is just a little crazy that he's only good on his own team. Like, it should have made him a little better on Baby's team, or a little better on like just a separate team. Again, I get that was the intent. And that's fine. Like I said, I just do wish he could have been ran on Baby's team, man. Baby's team is so much better. And it's not that, and again, it's not that Omega's team sucks. It's just like, Gomah's there, bro. Gomah is there on that team, brother. All right, finally, we have the unit that I would say is probably the worst slot 1 on this list, but he's still very, very good. That is the INT Corrupted Bros. These guys I wanted to include on this list because of how good they are in short content. It's again, I understand they are heavily restricted to Corroded Body and Mind. I get that. I'm not, and there's a lot of things I'm going to take away from this unit, but in the end of the day, put them in a package and they have 100% dodge turn 1 before they attack. Like, that's really hard to match energy wise. Like you're just not gonna see that from many people in this meta, right? And then let's talk about the fact that even when they attack, they still have 90% dodge on that turn. They have really good stats, but at least offensively. Defensively, they do not. They are dodge or die 100%, but when the dodge or die is dodge or essentially dodge because you have so much dodge, it does not matter to me. These guys do a lot of dodging for sure. And that's what makes them great units, because if they can't get touched, they're holding down slot 1 very, very well. Now, they can hold down any slot really well, but I mean, if you can hold down slot 1 really well, then you're in a good position. And that's what you just hope for and want in this scenario. Yeah, I mean, there's something much more to this unit that's going to make me ramble on for too long. But I mean, look at the past, right? If you want to wait, okay, what about some of the previous units we've gotten this year? Like Mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku is not going to go in slot 1. He needs to attack first. Baby's not going to go in slot 1. He needs to attack first. Broly needs to stack before he can go in slot 1. Let's see what else we got in this year. Tien's good. I definitely think he's taking some damage due to the newer content. He's still good, but, you know, some issues there. Tao, same way. I think Tao is still really good, but I do think newer content starts to see Tao take some damage here. AGL Kid Goku is good in multiple forms of content, but you do need to get him going. STR Cell, he's really, really good in short content, but not good in festival battles and not really good in longer content either. All of the anniversary units are not good slot 1 units. And that's about it. That was my complaint the whole anniversary, by the way. I was sitting there so pissed off. I was like, dude, they gave us. They gave us. Sorry, I said it 3 times because I'm just trying to process how dumb this is. TeQ Vegeta, slot 2 unit. That's fine. That's great. That's exactly what you're hoping for. And they gave us AGL Super Vegeta, the one they want, the Super Gogeta. But the catch is, he's a quote-unquote slot 1 unit, as it not really. You would never throw this unit in slot 1 because his defense is doo-doo bun water. All they gave him was defense. No damage reduction. Like, they gave him double guard. Like this, I don't get it. This unit should have been so much better in base. Like, if this guy had just 50% damage reduction, and that's a lot, but if he had 50% damage reduction instead of the second condition of guard, he would be probably in the top 5 still. And I'm not even joking when I say that. If the base form Vegeta was a usable slot 1 unit today, he would be a top 5 unit right now, maybe top 3. Because you have to also consider the fact that AGL Super Gogeta is a part of that card. Yeah, that guy is a part of that card. Yeah, he is there. He definitely is. Which is what makes him even crazier. So, I mean, it is a little insane to talk about and think about what we've seen from these units this year, but yeah. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys agree or disagree with the units on this list? This is not an order, by the way. When I was talking about specifically, like, this is the worst slot 1 unit on this list, just more so trying to be transparent about who I think is stronger than the other briefly, but I don't really have a, like, oh, you're better than best. I would probably think Gomah's the best slot 1 out of these guys, for sure. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you guys enjoy these videos, make sure to click the first link in the description to all my voice content. The second one is to all of my Dokkan Battle content videos in general. My third one is to my G Fuel for 20% off your G Fuel order. And I'll see you guys in the next one.